Hello friends, Patrick here. Today I've got some tips and tricks for your new S8, the Samsung Galaxy S8. Yes, my friends, it's here, it's arrived. You might have seen my review already, a layman's review, something for somebody to look at if they don't care about the specs and they don't care about all those fancy features. Just a quick rundown. Now, I'll link that video in the description, but today we're looking at those tips and tricks for setting up and getting the most out of your S8. Now, one of the things the S8 has that might be problematic for some is a crappy battery. So we're going to look at fixing those issues, or rather, making them not as bad as some people really make it out, or at least giving you a whole day's use. So one of the things you will notice, and if you got it straight out of the box, the Galaxy S8, is that it comes with multiple settings for how much resolution you get on your screen. So just like on a computer, you can change the screen resolution, and if you want to get good battery life, I recommend using FHD+, which is basically 1080p. If you want to get some extra sharpness that you won't really notice on this screen size, then you can go for the WQHD, which is full, basically almost 2K, but that is only helpful in the Galaxy S8 Plus. So to go change that, you go to settings and you'll see display. In here, you can change your display resolution going here. All it is just drag it to left and right. Don't go HD Plus, it will actually look probably quite terrible, won't look as nice as you'd think. Then you just press apply and there you go. The next thing I'm going to show you that while we're in here, some people have had an issue with the screen being a little bit red tinted. That can be changed, and well, look, it's not an ultimate fix, but it will make it a little bit better. If you have the newest update, you'll have this setting in the adaptive display. You'll be able to actually correct the redness. If I drag it across, there'll be less red. If I put it back, there'll be more red. Now, personally, I haven't noticed too much issues with my red tint. If I really wanted it, I might put it there. It does make it a little bit less reddish. You can still see the red is quite nice here, but that whiteness here should be fine. Now, on camera, it might look a little bit different, but from my point of view, this is okay, and you will get used to it. It is really for people who are having an issue with that red tint. So just so you know, it's there. Don't worry about going warm or cool. It's just gonna, you can play around it, but it's just gonna make things look a little bit weird and odd. The next feature I'm going to talk about is actually something that has been popping up a lot around the area, around the speaking of, or basically using your phone at night, and that is the blue light filter. If you turn this on, it will remove that sort of coloring scheme, and it will make it look a little bit reddish, almost. It's as if somebody just removed that hue. That hue slider has just been removed with this. You can make it more or less, and you can see it goes a little bit red here, but then orangey, and then very yellowish. Now, this is kind of helpful like at night when you're just going to sleep and you don't want to keep your mind awake, because that blue light does actually keep your mind quite awake and alert. Your eyes really taking a little bit more information. If you don't want to have issues trying to get to sleep, use the blue light filter. And the coolest thing is you can turn it on as scheduled, so you can have a schedule by just tapping that. Obviously allow sunset to rise down or custom, and you can set it any way you want. So you don't have to remember to flick it. You just set it at, let's say, 10 all the way to like 7 a.m. Before you go to work or something like that. Perfect. The next thing I'm going to talk about is the screen zoom and font. I know we're talking about a screen, but this is really about customizing the phone to the way you want it to work. And one of the things I prefer is making those icons a lot smaller. I don't like big icons, especially on a nice screen like this. It feels overpowering and doesn't feel clean. So with me, I have put it to small. Obviously, you can do whatever you need to. If you want large, this is preferable. If you feel like that they're too small and you just don't notice it, what icons they are, but it's there. Obviously, the font also make it large or small. And one of the coolest things about this is people who have a little bit harder eyesight or issues with it can really customize their Galaxy in a way that helps them. So that is awesome. The next thing I'm going to talk about is number 3. It's not really a feature, but I turn it off every time I get one of these phones. Icons with frames. To me, that looks absolutely crappy. I like it a clean, single icon with its design. So that's there. change it because it comes defaulted to icons with that background. So that's the next little thing. Now, battery saving tips, guys. Tip number 4, screen timeout. Make it quick. 15-30 seconds. It's defaulted to 2 minutes. Make it quick so your screen, which is your biggest battery eater, is going to turn off very quickly. As you can see, mine always goes really quickly off, just because sometimes you might be texting, you put it down, and for the next 2 minutes you're draining battery without actually using it. Number 5 to save battery is video enhancer. Turn that off because it's just going to drain battery every time you watch any of these apps. Netflix, Plex, YouTube, or any videos, it will drain your battery. If you want to show somebody a really pretty video and you have a little bit of time, feel free to turn this on, but day-to-day use, you won't notice that difference. This AMOLED display, Infinity Display, is gorgeous in itself, and you do not need to use this. Personally, it's a waste of time and battery. Quick launch camera is feature number 6. This is absolutely fantastic. It makes a return from the Galaxy S7 Edge. This time it's your power button there. Tap that twice. It's a little bit hard sometimes, but make sure you do it because sometimes when you want to capture that perfect moment, you have to get that camera out pretty quickly. Number 6, our feature is finger sensor gestures, and to me that is absolutely awesome. If you want to, for example, and this is the only reason I use it for, break down that option menu here. You just swipe down on the back of the phone and it will do the exact same thing. It's really nice, and after about a day I got so used to it that I never dragged it with my thumb. I use the finger behind the phone and just bring it down. Absolutely fantastic. To save some more battery power, turn off direct call, smart alert, and easy mute. All this does is use that sensor up the front to make notice when you put your head near it. It will direct the call when you're in a contact, vibrate when you pick it up from the phone. But why would you ever put this phone face down and try and scratch that screen? You would always put it on the back, so smart alert for me is pretty crap. Swipe or call to send messages, guys, pretty standard, but once you get used to it, you'll know what I mean. But if you go left, you can message. If you go left, you can call. If you go right, you can message on a contact. Number 7 is another saving feature for your battery, and that is this. Always on display. Now, Samsung says that the always on display doesn't actually take that much battery, but well, people will always wonder, and unfortunately it probably is true. It will eat up a little bit of battery. So what I've done is I've set the always on display to only works or is in use during the day when you can actually see it. At night, when you're asleep, well, hopefully this will be off. So what I've set it is that it's only on from 6 a.m. to 11 p.m. After that, it turns off, and the battery, well, it won't use it. Personally, I don't know if this is even useful. You might even do it the other way around. Have it on only during the night and off during the day. So basically you have to click to see what you're gonna do with, if it's time, if there's messages. But to me, it's nice to have on the side. You look over and you can see what time it is. The next feature I'm going to talk about is the iris, fingerprint, and facial recognition. This is more of a public announcement. Don't use the facial recognition. That can be fully bypassed by just printing a photo of yourself. The iris scanner is problematic to get set up, as I mentioned in my review. The fingerprint scanner is absolutely fine. Even its location is fine. So guys, just a public announcement, don't use the facial scanner. The next thing we're going to do is, if you're a general Samsung user, you will know this. We're going to go to About Phone, go into software information, and we're going to tap the build number a couple times, and we're going to turn on developer mode. To make this phone more snappier than it already is, you go into developer options and you go down into here, and you will see a little setting that has some percentage numbers, animation transition. These guys just make your windows fall and bring up in a nice manner, very smooth. The less you make it, like 0.5, it'll be just a quick snap. At 0%, it will completely just be a flash. To me, 0.5 looks absolutely perfect. You want to lower that if you want to make your phone feel a little bit smoother and snappier, and also it does, well, it uses less battery because the whole process will take a lot less visually, a lot less processing. The next tip that I'm going to get you guys to check out is the caller ID and spam protection. This is absolutely fantastic. Samsung has partnered with White Pages to basically built in basically spam and call protection. What happens is if somebody calls you, you'll be able to know who it is, where they're calling you from, as long as it is not a private number. So super helpful to get rid of those pesky darn telemarketers, or if you just want to know who's calling you right at that moment if you don't have that contact's number in your phone. Personally, last few things that I like to do with my phone is that if I use as the SMS and the Facebook Messenger, I just have the SMS and Facebook Messenger app right there instead of having two separate things like on most iPhones, or even some Android people don't usually use it, but I've got it all in one, really nifty. Another good app to get is Beep and Go. This keeps all your loyalty cards in one, and you can scan it with the barcode scanner when it comes up. It's pretty darn useful. You can just basically scan it like so. Basically, you don't have to keep all that crap in your wallet, which is fantastic. Another cool app is obviously Shazam. Use it a lot when you need to have it on the front screen. As you can see, I actually don't have any other screens. It's just the one. I personally like to use everything that's on here, and that's why at the bottom I've only got 3 things. The less is the better. And obviously, why should I scroll through multiple apps? I only use a phone for certain things. If I want to have a look at the apps, I just push up on the screen and I can go through all the apps I have in the back that I use very, very rarely. Another little quick feature is if you go into here and basically double bring it down, you can turn on or off VoLTE, which is basically like Wi-Fi calling through your 4G connection. Personally, take care with that in Australia because the Australian network, not everybody uses it, so it's a pointless feature that's going to waste battery for you. You might as well turn it off because unless somebody else has a Samsung S7 with that feature turned on, you're not going to get to use it because whenever you call somebody, it'll try to use it. It'll all of a sudden you'll have a very nice connection and then it'll drop out as soon as you drop down to 3G. It's just problematic at the moment with the sketchy kind of connection you have with your providers. I'm saying Telstra might be okay-ish, but Vodafone is pretty bad on the connection, like Perth and Canning Vale, 0 connection at all. So keep an eye on it. You don't need it. Performance mode allows you to speed up the phone if you're doing some gaming. If you're not, no point. And there's your blue light filter that you can turn it on and off that I mentioned before. But like I said, you can schedule it on there. And so guys, thank you very much for watching this little quick tips and tricks getting started with your S8. I hope it has been helpful. I hope it hasn't been too much. And guys, thank you very much for watching. And subscribe and like if you let me know in the comments what you thought about this video, if you want to see more videos like this getting deeper into the Galaxy world, or if you don't want to see more videos like this. Let me know. Thanks very much, guys.